Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on DP800 Practice Test. This is developing AI-enabled database solution. This is part 2 of the series, and this is questions 11 to 20. And without further ado, let's go and jump to the question. My name is Joey. I'm certified for the DP800. I'm going to be your quiz master. Okay, for DAB, that's Data API Builder, you need to expose a SQL table as REST endpoint using Data API Builder. You must define the table under the blank section of the DAB config file. A. Entities. B. Data source. C. Permission. D. Runtime. E. GraphQL. F. REST. G. Mapping. Correct answer is entities. In Data API Builder configuration file, data object is exposed to REST or GraphQL are defined under the entities section. Each entity maps to a source object such as SQL table view or stored prop. While all other options are wrong, data source is used to define database connection. Permission is used to configure inside an entity, but the table itself is not defined under permission. Runtime controls global REST. GraphQL controls the GraphQL exposure, not the top level table definition. REST this control the REST exposure details, not the top level entity definition. And G mapping may rename fields, but they do not define the exposed table itself. The correct answer is it's on the entity section of the DAB. For the REST method mapping, you need to expose the stored procedure as a post endpoint in DAB. Fill in the blanks. You must set the method blank in REST configuration. A get, B post, C put, D patch, C execute, F full, G invoke. And the correct answer is B post. Right. So for stored proc exposure to REST in Data API Builder, the REST method must match the endpoint behavior. To expose it as a post endpoint, the method value is set to post. Again, you have the several options, which are all wrong: get, put, patch, execute, call, invoke. Execute is used to run stored procedure, not to expose it as REST. So it's a bit of a confusion there, but the correct answer is post. This is not as difficult as the one that you're going to encounter, the one in the exam, but this is going to help you a lot. Question number 13. SQL column contains JSON data. You need to extract a scalar value. Fill in the blanks. You should use the blank to retrieve a single JSON property. A. JSON value. B. JSON query. Open JSON. Stringscape. Parse JSON. JSON table and JSON extract. Again, you are required to extract a single column in JSON data and you are required to extract a scalar value. And the answer is very obvious. That's JSON value. JSON value returns a scalar value for JSON strings such as a single string, number, boolean value, or null from a specified JSON path. JSON query returns an object or array of JSON fragment. Open JSON shreds JSON into rows and columns rather than returning one scalar value directly. Stringscape special characters and string. It does not extract JSON. Parse JSON at a SQL Server function used for scalar JSON extraction. And JSON table, not the SQL Server function for extracting scalar. It's just to extract table or JSON extract, common in other SQL dialect, but not in SQL Server function. Okay, for question number 14, this is JSON querying. You need to extract an array from a JSON column in SQL. You should use blank to return JSON fragments. A, JSON value. B, JSON query. C, open JSON, JSON table, JSON path, string split, and JSON object. Obviously, the answer is on the title, which is JSON query. So JSON query is used to in SQL Server to return JSON fragment such as object or arrays from JSON strings, since the requirement is to extract an array JSON query is the correct function. JSON value is a scalar. OpenJSON is used to split it into rows and columns, and then JSON table, not a SQL Server function. JSON path is a JSON path identifies an allocation of JSON. All of these are wrong. String split and JSON object. And again, the correct answer is JSON query. Question number 15, you need to shred JSON into rows and columns, fill in the blank. You must use OpenJSON with a blank clause. A, with. B, select. C, format. D, parse. E, schema. F, structure. G, map. And the correct answer is with, right? OpenJSON can turn JSON into rows. When you need name columns with specific data type, you define the structure by adding a with clause. So select, format, parse, schema, describe the idea, but schema is not the actual SQL Server clause for OpenJSON column definition. So it's not in SQL Server. You can see that in other technology, but not in SQL. Structure, not valid OpenJSON clause. Map, there is not valid OpenJSON clause. So you use the with clause in JSON. In the third episode, we will be using codes, and we're going to see most of them there. Question number 16. This is the permission. You need to allow anonymous user to read the entity. You must set the role to A, anonymous, B, authenticated, C, admin, the reader, public, F, guest, G, default. It's already there in the question. The answer is A, anonymous. So this is a pretty easy round of question, which is used to antagonize you, because when you study the questions in DP 800, it's very intimidating. Okay, anonymous in DP Data API Builder, anonymous access is configured by assigning permission to the anonymous role. This allows unauthenticated user to access the permitted operations such as read. Unauthenticated use for signed-in user, not anonymous. Admin, not built-in role for unauthenticated access. Reader, a descriptive name, but not the built-in anonymous role. And public, not the data API role, name for anonymous. So guest is for SQL, it's not for DOM. And default is also not the DOM role. Question number 17, DOM stored proc. You need to allow a role to execute a stored procedure in DOM. Fill in the blanks. You must grant blank action. A, read. B, create. C, update. D, delete, execute. F, call. G, invoke. So you need to allow a role to execute a stored procedure. The answer is in the question. It's also the execute permission letter E, which is the answer. So execute stored procedure is in Data API Builder or DAB are invoked by granting the execute action to the appropriate role. Read, create, and update and delete are used for table like CRUD or update, delete, and create. So the rest of the options are wrong, and we're down to two more questions. You need to extract a second element of JSON array, fill in the blanks. Use the JSON path $.item0, $.item.1, $.item.2, $.items.asterisk, or $.items-1, $.item first, $.item second. Again, you are going to extract the second array, the second element of an array, of a JSON array, and you are filling the blanks. And JSON is a zero-based array, so the answer is $items1, which corresponds to the second element of an array. So JSON array use zero-based indexing. So the first element is 0, the second element is 1. So $0, 2, asterisk, -1 are all wrong. Item first is not valid. Array index and $item second, this is also not valid. Array index syntax. Last two more questions. You need to disable GraphQL for a specific entity, fill in the blank, set GraphQL in the entity configuration A true, B false, C disable, D off, E none, F null, G remove. And the correct answer, that's really very easy question. The answer is false. So in the data API builder to disable the question is to disable, not to enable. So in the data API builder entity configuration setting GraphQL to false, disable GraphQL exposure for that specific entity while still allowing other configure endpoints if enabled. Data API builder entity configurations setting GraphQL to false, disable GraphQL exposure for that specific entity while having other configure endpoints if enabled. True is wrong, disable is wrong, off is wrong, none, null, and remove are all wrong. Last question for this series. You need to extract the assistant's message content. You need to extract the assistant message content from an Azure OpenAI JSON response stored in SQL. Fill in the blank, you should use the path $choices zero message content $message letter B. Letter C $response text $content E $output zero $result message or $G completion, and the answer is $result message oh, the answer is $choices message content. You're wrong. I did not get that. Okay. So this is the one confusing item here. My answer would be that result that message. But yeah, this is a tricky one. You need to extract the assistant's message content from Azure OpenAI JSON response stored in SQL. Fill in the blank. You should use the path $choice zero that message that content $message $response $content output $result message and $completion. So in the exam, you will see a lot of like this, and you will get easily intimidated, because it's confusing. But yeah, just go ahead and keep studying, and you will pretty much get to it pretty soon. So the answer for this is $choices that message that content. All others are wrong. Result message is a response. The response is organized under choices, not the result. Okay. Yeah, this one is difficult. Yeah, it's not probably the exam, but this is a difficult question. Okay, that's all for now, and I'll see you for more training. And thank you again for watching, and I hope you will be subscribing and liking my video, and I'll be releasing my book pretty soon on the DP600 or DP800, probably by the end of September. I hope you support me on those publication of books. So I'll see you again, and yeah, please like, follow, and subscribe.